What's going on? Welcome to Asian Cosell. I haven't done a Somali video in a while, but yep. So we have his trial. So we're gonna see, how many updates we have. So right now, thanks to Legal Mindset, shout out to him, and he's gonna go over what day his trial date is. So let's get into it, and let's see.
That Johnny Somali, aka Ramzi Khalid Ismail, the date of his trial has been moved by the judge. So I'm going to say this a couple times. By the judge, which is very material. It was not at the request of the defense counsel or of Ramzi. In fact, I have it on good word that he, in fact, has said both publicly and privately that he thought he was going to be leaving before the end of the year. He thought he was going to show up to the trial and he was going to walk out and go home and be free to go and pay a fine and walk out. Now he is not going to be leaving for a very, very long time. A very, very long time. So it has been moved from December 20th, which means there will be no trial on December 20th. So if you were somebody who was going to go out there and wait outside the courtroom and stuff like that, you don't got to anymore. It has now been moved. This is mostly good news. However, there's one part that's a little bit bad, and I'll get to that. So we're going to talk about that today. So first of all, what's the actual day? The specific date of the trial, which I know everybody is going to copy me on. Everybody's going to take this information, and that's fine. I want to give it to the world. Is March 7th, 2025. Okay? March 7th, 2025. So
Okay, so he gets to go through the cold ass winter. Johnny's gonna have to stay warm, and he's gonna have to make it through January and February in this cold winter because where he's from in Arizona, it's usually humid there. But here in Korea, he's got to freeze his ass off. So let's continue.
Got to wait almost 4 months, 3-4 months. So one thing that you guys may have heard of in the American context is you may have heard of the concept of speedy trial. So, you have the right to a speedy trial. You have the right to, have your claim adjudicated, fairly quickly. That's not the case in Korea. Right? There's not really the same sort of ability to push them to trial earlier. So the thing is about this being requested by the judge, and let me go back here, is this is not coming from Johnny's counsel. Now, oftentimes, defense counsel will want to delay the trial. But because it's by the judge, there's no way to get it sooner. He cannot leave Korea until his trial, even if he goes to trial and pleads guilty. And mind you, like I said, even if he pleads guilty, it's not over on March 7th. It would probably be April before he's sentenced, even if he shows up and pleads guilty. So he now has, I would argue, 4 months of costs that he's got to pay, and he cannot stream. Because, by the way, he has no work visa. If he starts streaming while he's there, it's very clear, like in that case specifically, where he's not on a work visa, he shouldn't be doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got other potential violations if he's making money that way, right? He's stuck. No money, no friends, no nothing else. Very few friends. And I guarantee you, by the way, after 4 months, all those friends, those people that have been his cuddle buddies, they're going to get real annoyed with him after 4 months of him being a bum, after 4 months of him being a freeloader. Imagine if someone's on your couch for 4 months. It's one thing if it's 1 month. It's another if it's 4 months. So let's go through some of the facts here, because there's going to be a lot of misinformation on this, and I want to clear all this up. Because there's a lot of other channels, and guys, I do want to be very clear. There are a lot of other channels that are providing misinformation and even dangerous misinformation. So please be very, very careful with the stuff you consume and watch. People will forward me stuff and they'll say, oh, look, these are statements by Johnny or Gino that they're making, and they're from old videos that people are recycling. Now, I'm honest with you guys. Sometimes I do review old video, but I say, hey, it's an old video, and I'm reviewing it for the sake of legal analysis, for the sake of determining whether or not crimes were committed, potentially one way or another. But people are like, oh, look, Gino's turning on Johnny. And they send me clips, and it's from a video that's from, 4 months ago.
So, yep. So Johnny's going to be stuck. And even as Legal Mindset Andrew says, even on March 7th, he thinks he's going home. No, because then he's got to come back for sentencing. I mean, he's even lucky if he even sees a day of light to get home. I think I'll probably get home before he does when I just go visit, and yeah, and I'll still go home and come back whenever that is. And yeah, he will still be stuck here in Korea. So, yep, let's continue.
3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, right? So be very careful with misinformation. But that said, with this, the facts are we right now have the same charges, which for now, and the key word is here, for now, the only charges we have against them are two things: obstruction of business and violation of the Minor Crimes Act. Okay? Everything else is not at trial yet for now. So that's all we have. We have the same court and courtroom for now. Now, I think that they may, and I don't want to spoil anything, but the particular courtroom he's in is not very big. And I think there may be more people attending than they expect. So they might want to move him up to the big courtroom. But that said, he's still in the same courtroom for now, under the jurisdiction of, like we talked about last stream, 102. We talked about the Western District. He's under the jurisdiction of the Western District. Same prosecutor for now. Same judge for now. Now, this is going to change. So the prosecutor and judge are going to change. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. So we're going to pay attention to that. All right. So now we're going to get into the hypo section. Why did the judge change this? Because this is something the judge decided to do. It's not something that Ramsey said, not something the prosecutor wanted. It's something the judge decided to do. Now, the judge is privy to a lot of information. All right, so everything here is a hypothesis, but it is a hypothesis that is based on, I think, good information. And it's based on like reasonable, educated guesses. So this is a hypothesis that is based on educated guesses. It's based on talking to people with experience in the system, etc. So why would the judge move this? Well, I want to make it clear. The issue is perhaps that this went too quickly through the stages of the criminal process. So what I think may have happened here is I think this may have jumped too quickly from stage 1 to stage 4. And typically, like I said, that stage 2 and 3 are each supposed to take 2 to 4 months. So a process that was supposed to take up to 6 to 8 months happened in less than a month.
Yeah, so yep, they kind of wanted to get this really speedy for Johnny, but yeah. But I think the judge said, okay, let's wait on that. So, and of course, hey, make Johnny stay here. And like Andrew said, let him be a nuisance because the question is, yeah, his buddy Hank and all them, are they gonna keep, you know, just keep enabling his behavior? So let's gotta see.
So both the police investigation and the prosecutors set this for trial in less than a month. And now they're reeling back and they're saying, okay, we're going to push it out again, which is very interesting because now it's looking more like a regular timeline. So if you look at this going down in November and then a trial in March, that looks more like a typical Korean investigation speed, right? It's about 4 or 5 months of investigation. That's more typical than 1 or 2 months. So this was going very, very fast, but there's a lot of things they could have realized when this was going very, very fast. And let's look at that. What could they realize? Well, first of all, they could have realized they could be evidentiary issues. So let's focus on this. So here's a theory. Once again, these are all theories. Now, they're theories based on conversations with Korean lawyers, people with knowledge in the Korean legal system, etc. But the theory number one, the judge is aware of the issues regarding the evidence, witnesses, or investigation. So meaning they want more witnesses to come forward. They want more evidence. They need more investigation. So the process would normally take months, and it was expedited to move it to December 20th. So moving it to March 7th, will go back to a normal pace. So I'm kind of going to give you like a pro-con, like this is why this theory could be legit. And then I'm going to argue.
What comes to mind immediately with Enclave is really this effortless beauty.
There's a multitude of different
argue against that theory. I'm going to give you a counterpoint. So it's very possible they are pushing it out to March to get more evidence. However, the counterpoint to this is that the charges against him are a slam dunk with the evidence they have. With the evidence they have, the clear video, they don't need a lot of witnesses or anything else. They just show the video and it's like, yep, he's guilty, done. So this one, while it could be true, it's not necessarily bulletproof as a theory. Next, and this is the one that I think most of you guys are talking about, and a lot of people are talking about, adding charges. So of course, by delaying, you have more opportunity to add charges. So the judge is aware of many other charges that may be added to his case. March 2025 allows plenty of time to properly investigate or add other crimes to the trial docket. We know there's many other complaints against Ramsey, both victim complaints and third-party reports.
Yeah, so even if those ladies left, South Korea, maybe they can, file complaints and charges, or that they did already against Ramsey. So yeah, but of course, yeah, this is pretty much a slam dunk case. So let's see what happens some more here.
So that's kind of the difference we talked about last time. And I talked about one of the more nitpicky details is there is a difference in the seriousness with which a victim reports a crime and a third party reports a crime. If a victim reports a crime, they take it very seriously. If a third party reports a crime, they do not take that as seriously unless there's a lot of people reporting the crime, which could be the case here. The counterpoint to adding charges is many of the things happened outside the Western District. So they're outside the jurisdiction of the current court. So why would the judge in the Western District give a excuse my crassness, but why would they care about what happened in Judicial, which is in the Eastern District? So for example, if we're talking about the Lotte World incident, if we're talking about a lot of the other kind of back and forth with the Korean YouTubers and Johnny Somali, a lot of that happened in Judicial in the Eastern District. So why would the Western District delay to add charges that would go in the Eastern District? Well, it could be to counter the counter that they're thinking about the pizza incident. Now, the pizza incident was a different night, but it is fully within the power of the Western District Court to bring into the same case anything that falls within its jurisdiction, i.e. that happened in Hongdae. So if two things happen in Hongdae, even on different nights, which they did, they happen on different nights, they could bring that within the purview of the court. Theory 1 was evidence. Theory 2 is charges, and this is one of my the ones where I think it's very, very relevant is judge rotation. So this is something I learned about today, once again, from people who have a very deep knowledge of the Korean legal system. I am not a Korean lawyer, so I rely on other people, and this is something that was explained to me. So in Korea, judges and prosecutors are rotated. So they don't stay judges and prosecutors the entire time. So here's the thing. These charges were filed now, but there's a very good chance that if they started in December and they had an actual trial, there might be a new judge, because new judges and potentially prosecutors are coming in 2025. So imagine you have a new judge and they come in and they're halfway through a trial. That's kind of a pain. But if you come in and this is something that you're dealing with from the start, that's different. So you're handling the entire case open to close. And that can be a good thing. That can be a good thing. By the way, this is obviously pretended South Korea. These are American, Judge Judy over here and the judge from Providence. Very nice guy. Okay. So the theory is, this is the kind of crazy theory, is that the judge wants out. So the judge might not want anything to do with this case. The judge may be like, you know what? Screw this case. I'm out. And
I don't think he wants to, a lot of these judges, might not want to deal with this case. I mean, we got to find a judge that's going to want to deal with this Somali case, because I don't think a lot of these judges, actually had a case as severe as Johnny Somali. So, yeah. So hopefully we'll take on a judge is going to be willing to take this on and, said, hey, we need to prosecute this dude,
may have bumped it because of that. And my support for that is, would you want to deal with the Johnny Somali case as a judge, this mess? Now, to counter, I don't know the judge's state of mind. This really relies on me, like, looking into the judge's state of mind. But to be honest, people kicking the can down the road is a story as old as time. So let's go to my prediction. Okay. So here.
Okay. Sorry about that. Get to watch a little battle now.
Here's my prediction. This is a good thing because, number one, it gives time to investigate other crimes. Yeah. We've put out there that there are potentially other crimes that he's committed, that he's potentially done quite a number of things which should be investigated and should be looked into. Number two, victims can come forward. So, for example, I told you guys victim statements are more powerful than a statement that's just coming from a third party. Third, it forces him into prison until mid to late 2025. Now, I've said this before. Johnny Salami is the one who's locked up because he's got to pay the money. He's got to stay there. He can't go anywhere. And everyone knows who he is. So he starts messing around. People are going to be on him. He cannot make his normal content. He can't work. He can't do anything. So it's effective prison. So honestly, if he gets a year in prison as a sentence, which is possible, he could get a year, and he's been already in Korea for almost a year with the trial, waiting for it to end, well, then that's effectively 2 years. You've effectively doubled his sentence by keeping him in there. And then you throw him in the prison, and then you send him to the cabbages. So let's continue my prediction here. Remember, he must pay for himself. He cannot work, and food alone is in the thousands. Now, the only negative thing, because you know me, I am 100% objective. The only negative thing is that over time, the amount of public interest will drop. So YouTubers are not, I'm not going to cover this constantly for 4 months. I am going to cover other topics too. Now, I'm not going to let this go. When it comes close to March, I'm going to spin this up again. And I'm also going to cover this updates, but maybe I just have an update once a week. Maybe I have an update once every other week. Maybe there's not that much. There will be updates though. I guarantee you there will be updates, right? But there won't be updates every single day. No, of course not. Right? And part of that is that the YouTubers won't cover it as much. It won't go as far. Some public pressure will drop. Whereas the 20th, it would have been very much in the forefront of everybody's mind. March, it'll be a little bit in the back end. That's probably the only bad thing. Other than that, everything else is good. From a legal procedural standpoint, everything else is good.
Yep. So that's what we're seeing with this Somali thing. So definitely December, we're not gonna have anything. So he's just pretty much gonna freeze his ass through the cold weather. He's gonna have to fend for himself unless his buddies want to keep bailing him out, or his buddy Hank wants to keep doing that. And it's just gonna be real tough for him because he's now being watched, and now they took his equipment away. So so we'll just have to stay tuned. The drama continues, and so he's gonna have to go through New Year's, and then just sit there and go, woe is me. So there you go. So March 7th, unless something else changes according to Legal Mindset, for giving out this report. I thank Andrew for giving this report out there. So, and we'll just have to see what's going to go down. But, we're going to be just chilling for the next 4 months till that trial date. So, so we'll see, and we'll see what happens. All right, if any of you enjoyed any of this content, please give me the HKO special. Help the king out. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. And wherever you are, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video.